Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer and specialize in chronically and critically ill patients and recovering them. And today I want to talk about my journey into how I came about doing this. And it actually started many decades ago, about 47 years ago, or 48 years ago or so. When I was much younger, I had a younger brother who was extremely ill, born with an asthmatic condition. Actually, he was not expected to live past infancy. He was always getting critically sick at night, and I was about 4 years older than him, so I was a little bit older. And in those years, of course, there wasn't the telephone system as easily available as in later times. So I was the one that needed to go out and find the neighbors or someone to get a vehicle in order to rush him to the hospital. And I was very concerned about losing my younger brother. And I one day happened to come across a book while I was around 9 years old. This was around 1977. Um, a book on yoga, and the yoga book spoke about someone who was critically ill, and he used yoga to recover himself. And I thought this is amazing, and he had a lot of lessons on how to practice yoga and so forth in that book. So I started to delve deep into that book with the intention of saving my brother's life and having him always by my side, whom I loved very much. And a year later, I went into a deep study of the science of yoga, despite being 10 years old. But my passion was motivated with my a love for my younger brother, of course. And of course, I taught him whatever I learned. And he started. Of course, he did not get cured, but his condition improved significantly. Management of his condition improved a lot, and he grew into an adult, and he got married, and also he lived till the age of 39. And I'm someone who's always traveling and hardly ever even in my home country. And it was fortunate during that period, just before he passed away, that it was just post the 2008 financial crash, and we had to take a break from business. And I decided to spend a little time in my family home where my brother lived together with my mom and his wife and child. Um, and I was fortunate to be there when he passed away, because he had an attack, and before the ambulance could arrive, or he passed away, but he died in my arms, and me trying to resuscitate him, giving him mouth to mouth, resuscitation. And it was, a tragic event in my life that made me to focus deeper into, the science of yoga and healing, and to get more, because I felt somewhat at a loss that I could not, save him. And then there was a second turning point in 2018, when, due to huge stress factors and number of factors, I had a major relapse in my own physical health, which was very surprising, because I'm normally, very healthy, and not getting ill, and very rarely would I even get a flu, which I think sometimes once in 10 or 12 years that I would need, to visit a doctor. But I had a massive shock, and a total collapse of my nervous system, which made me to dive deeper into the ancient sciences, because of course I was taking all the medical precautions and prescriptions, but it was not helping, with the condition. And but I found that delving deeper and more seriously into the yogic sciences, meditation started to show dramatic as well as significant improvements, not total recovery. And I delved deeper into pranayama and energy healing and trying to get to the higher levels. So a year later, with my serious attempts in delving deeper into all that I had learned and practiced in yoga and getting into a more serious level, in that too, because I was able to heal normal illnesses and regulate and even improve the condition of many of the illnesses. But I wanted to be able to totally recover, or totally cure, most of the illnesses that were challenging me, like asthma and neuropathy, in my case. And in 2019, um, the dormant life force energy or the Kundalini energy, started to become stably awakened and under my control. And I was able to start to develop it. And this immediately propelled my healing levels to a much higher. And I was able to, recover people with very serious illnesses and also able to conduct the healings telepathically, because I was getting calls and demands from friends and associates and family members, initially from around the world, because am well traveled and with friends and associates all around the world in multiple countries. So the demand for my energy healing started to grow, and I noticed that I was extremely successful because I was now on the master energy level and able to heal. And by practicing it, I was very heart sore till this day for having lost my brother and not being able to cure him at that time. Sadly, I now have the ability to better manage and better control asthmatic conditions. Had he been alive today, I would have been able to significantly reverse, if not completely, reverse his condition. I feel that there's a very strong likelihood that I could have completely reversed it as well. And it was a lifetime passion for us to find a cure or a way to, adequately manage, the asthmatic condition from childhood years. We went to almost every type of doctor with any new protocol, from that time. And that burning passion, together with my sadness at the loss, I didn't want to see other people in his memory. I wanted to be able to cure as many people as possible, to make up for that loss. That at least, despite having lost him, I searched so deeply, to find a cure. I wanted to be more serious and try to save as many lives in memory, of someone that I loved the most, I would say, in my life. And so that's how I came to focus very intently in my energy healing practice and therapies. And even when any person contacts me, I do the first consultation appointment free of charge, so that I explain everything and get to understand the person's condition. And even if he doesn't want to proceed with treatments, I give him enough tools and advice and natural methods that he can try to adopt on his own, so that he's not left at a loss. That there is no such thing as zero hope. I leave them with hope. And also, when I'm doing the treatment, if once I commence the treatment and they are not satisfied, I don't take the payment. I want them to be 100% satisfied that the healing is starting to work, and it is something that they feel it's a value added benefit to them. That's the only time, if they are not happy and they are still skeptical, I don't take any payment, and I don't continue further, with the treatment. But that is very rare. I hardly ever had, a situation where someone was not satisfied. Even when I do the energy healing, I mean, this is done remotely. They are in a totally different country. And I just asked them to sit down and send it and ask them, what, and tell them what to expect. And of course, they experience, the calmness that overcomes them, and the healing as well. Some people are in pain, and also recovering patients who are unconscious. So it is good to follow natural methods, for regular people who have control over their movement and their eating habits. And I would encourage everyone to, take control of your life and not allow yourself to get to a stage where you no longer have control and you are in a critically ill in a hospital bed in an intensive care unit, unconscious and fighting for your life. That's not a good situation. You can, prevent that, because you do get warning signals before reaching that level, except in cases where there are, motor vehicle accidents or so forth. But generally, most patients who reach that point of being so critically ill in a trauma unit or intensive care unit, they have many warning signs before that. Don't allow that. So I specialize in being able to recover people, who's in on their deathbed, and it takes a lot of my energy, because to save a life, that life is on the very edge, and I have to give off all the energy from my own life force and expel it to the point where it very often seems to be a point where I could lose my life myself, right? So I went to the edge many times in trying to recover critically ill patients, and I knew the risks involved, and I'm happy to give my life in exchange to save someone's life, even if it means for a short while, but if you save, someone's life, and it's honorable death, doing that. And I've had the privilege to be able to, heal so many people from almost every part of the world, so to speak. And I feel blessed, for that opportunity. And so, although we're using the word blessed and opportunity, when someone is so ill, it's not a it doesn't feel like a blessing for that person or an opportunity. But of course, they're looking for a way to live further, or to be able to tie up their affairs and say their goodbyes to their loved ones. And of course, it's possible to turn around and live, a much longer than expected. There are people that recovered and were expected to pass away, within a 6 month period, that were so critically ill, and they still continue to live post 20 years, right? So I'm in this field for very long, and I hope that you don't have a need to contact me. But if you do, know that my heart and passion is in what I do, and you will be in very good hands. Thank you.